For partly cloudy skies today, the high getting back up near 90 degrees. Lower chance of rain today, but that chance goes back up tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. City of South Fulton this morning holding a ribbon cutting ceremony on a big change to a busy intersection that's been the site of several serious and deadly crashes. Councilwoman Carmelita Gums says the roundabout at Butner and Union Roads addresses several community concerns.
This is good news. When we see our tax dollars at work, this is what the city is about. We want to see ways that we can improve and make our corridor safe for everyone to enjoy that live here in our city.
She says she lives near that area and can sometimes even hear the crashes. Ribbon cutting for the $4.4 million project is set for 10 o'clock this morning. A Metro Atlanta couple arrested after leaving their children in a hot car.
Witnesses spot the three kids in the back of a black Mazda in the parking lot of the Publix on Glenda Trace in Clayton County and call authorities. When officers arrive, they spot the kids. One is passed out, another's hanging out of their car seat, and a third is just sitting there. All three of them are sweating profusely in the vehicle. The children's parents, 33-year-olds Dejon Hall and Santana Reynolds, were both arrested on a host of charges, including reckless conduct, driving while license suspended, and possession of marijuana. The kids are now staying with a grandparent. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Well, after hearing from concerned residents, the Douglas County Commission decides to extend its 3-month moratorium on massive data centers. Those concerns include environmental and electrical grid worries, along with how to pay for necessary grid expansions. Douglas County is already home to 7 data centers, which cover more than 50,000 square feet. 3 more projects are on the way. Atlanta area rents are down from a year ago, but still a lot higher than they were before the pandemic.
Realtor.com says that rents in Atlanta were down 3.5% in May compared to a year ago, but still up by around 11% from 2019. The real estate site says the median asking rent in the Atlanta area was $1,576. That was less than the national median asking rent. Realtor says that even though rents are higher compared to 2019, growth during that time has lagged behind growth in home prices and overall inflation. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
The new numbers out this morning show the U.S. unemployment rate dipped to 245,000 last week, keeping it at historically low levels. Meanwhile, we're awaiting today's press conference in the Federal Reserve meeting and specifically what to expect for interest rates. Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady does not expect a rate cut, but rather more the same conservative approach from the Fed.
The risk they feel that tariffs and this changing trade policy environment that we find ourselves in is too much when it comes to inflation and what kind of impact we could see over the next few months.
Says the bigger news today could be whether the Fed projects it will cut rates this year and how many times. Expecting to hear from the Fed today at 2, and we'll see what happens on Wall Street when the bell rings in about 30 minutes. Right now, Dow futures, all futures are up slightly. It is 9:03. The Mark Arum Show with Shelley Winter begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Start with Triple Team Traffic. Here's Smile on Mark McKay.
All right, just shy of 2 hours, Judd. A box truck went on its side. They finally opened all lanes on that east side perimeter. It's going to take a little while before the delays out of Clarkston below Memorial Drive exit 41 improve. But the crash site itself, all lanes are open, 285 southbound. South of I-20 exit 46. And I-20 will start to improve. It's been a rugged ride, leaving the mall of Stonecrest region trying to get to I-285. Same story downtown. Connector northbound loaded up 166 Langford Parkway up into Midtown. How about the ride in now from the northern suburbs, Ashley Frasca?
A little bit of a line of long, slow traffic still trying to head into Norcross 85 south from 316, getting past Jimmy Carter Boulevard, Georgia 400 south. Slowest part of that ride remains between Haynesbridge and Holcomb Bridge for the ride into Roswell. 75 south is now starting to crowd up, just waves of volume beginning before the North Loop trying to get past Windy Hill. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy today, hot and humid with a high near 90. Just a slim chance of an isolated pop-up storm. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, high 89. Drying out on Friday, partly cloudy, high 91.
75 degrees right now in Alpharetta, 75 in Riverdale, 74 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jet Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. Shelley Winter is here filling in for Mark Arum. I will be here all week, but I'm more importantly than that, for all of you, I'm here until 12 noon. I'm so excited. It's funny when you're filling in, right? So I'm already excited about doing this job. I love doing this. I love talk radio. So, when I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to do my show. I normally air 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Monday through Friday, every weeknight from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So I'm already excited to be coming into work every single day. But last night I couldn't barely sleep because I could not wait to get here this morning. It's so exciting to be filling in for Mark Arum. So I appreciate you joining us. Our number is 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. The reason why I give it out before you even know what I'm going to be talking about is because I know many of you will want to call after this opening segment. So Israel. We could possibly be at war. Right? All the data, everything is, all the words, all the back and forth, the tweets, surrender, unconditional surrender by President Donald Trump and the Ayatollah of Iran saying, no, we will never surrender. I mean, all of this saber rattling, all of this tough talk between Israel, between Iran, between the United States. We are on the verge of war, possibly could be on the verge of war. So it really is the most important thing to talk about because it's huge. It impacts us all. Even if you just look at oil prices, it could impact that, which impacts us, right? Forget the death and destruction that could happen in a war. Here on stateside, it could be just oil prices going up during the summertime when many of us will be getting in our cars and traveling around. So this is the big news, and I want to start here. So before I go any further, I want everyone to be clear. I've been filling in Monday and Tuesday. I was filling in. Then I did my show 7 to 9. And I don't want anybody to be mistaken. I'm not an apologist for Iran. I think Iran is a murderous, destructive country or leaders of a country. The people don't feel the same way the leaders do, but the leaders do. I think the Ayatollah is a madman. He's been there 6 decades. 6 decades this guy's been in charge, and he's mad, right? So I'm not an apologist for them. I just don't want boots on the ground, U.S. boots on the ground. I don't want to get dragged into a long, forever war, which tends to happen when we get involved in these things. So I just want to make that clear. But I also am a MAGA guy who voted for Donald Trump in 16, 20, and 24. Many people, right, who are pro-Israel do not like Donald Trump. They're pro-Israel, but they don't like Donald Trump. And it's one of the most fascinating things because Donald Trump might be the most pro-Israel president we've had in recent times. And it's always fascinating to me that the Jewish vote went so heavily against Donald Trump with Joe Biden and with Kamala Harris. And it's always fascinating to me. And I always tell people, many people talk about the African-American vote is locked in for the Democrat Party. Well, by and large, the Jewish vote is also locked in for the Democratic Party. For different reasons, but it's still locked in. But it's fascinating to me because Donald Trump right now has masterfully, now they may call him dumb, they may call him, he doesn't know what he's doing, and all the names that they call him. But he is actually, if you pay attention, masterfully managed this whole Israel-Iran thing. Masterfully. And right now he holds all the cards. And my point has been that Israel can defend itself. Now, you just heard in the a news report by Judd Higginbotham, a wonderful news team, Atlanta's Morning News, the best in the country, the best ever. Chris Chandler and Sandra Paris and everybody and Judd. But you heard the reporting by Judd where he talked about, he interviewed, I can't remember the guest's name, but they talked about how Iran is weaker. They have less bombs. They can't fire, right? To be effective against the Iron Dome, you almost have to flood the zone with ballistic missiles. Well, Iran can't do that. So they can't fire 100 at a time. They can only fire 10 at a time. And the reason for that is because Israel can see the launchers and pinpoint the launchers and just bomb the launchers. So you can't fire 100. You can only fire 10, 15 at a time. So Israel can't see where they're coming from. Because if you fire 100, by the time you get to 50, Israel knows where they're coming from, and they just send a plane and drop bombs on it. So Iran is already weaker. You just heard it. Oil prices, they're unstable. Their economy is weaker. Hackers just hacked the main Iranian bank that's tied to the Revolutionary Guard. They're weak. They can't fight back. Israel has done its job. They don't really need us. This is what my point has been the whole time. They're a powerful, strong country. And we're hearing all of what's going on. Now, what Donald Trump has masterfully done is by letting Israel do its job, Donald Trump is just showing strength, peace through strength. He's letting Iran know, look, dude, I haven't stepped in yet. We haven't stepped in yet. And you're already being defeated. So either come to the table or you can try and do your hardcore talking, but you're going to have to come to the table at some point. And even Donald Trump, when they said, oh, have you called the Ayatollah? They asked Donald Trump this. And Donald Trump said, no, he knows my number. That's how you talk tough. That's peace through strength. Now, the left, the media, whoever who hates Donald Trump, you can say what you want. But this man has handled this entire situation masterfully. Because in his mind, I believe, and this is my humble opinion on this, in his mind, he doesn't want to do anything that sucks America into a long-term war in the Middle East. Nothing. That is not his legacy that he wants to leave behind. He wants to leave behind a legacy of peace in the Middle East. And he's masterfully playing this out. And it's Trump 1.0, now Trump 2.0, but Trump 1.0 on steroids. I'm talking tough. I'm showing you I'm strong. And by the way, I got these B-1 bombers. I'm going to fly them over your country with the bunker buster bombs. And if I got to use them, I will use them. So are you going to come to the table or not? Good for him. But here's the thing about Iran, which makes them really in a bad position. First of all, the Ayatollah Khomeini has been there 60 years. The people don't really like him. But the second thing is going on. Do you remember the Iranian Green Movement? That was in 2009, starting around June 2009. They had the people rose up against the president. The president is second in command. The Ayatollah is the supreme leader, but he's kind of the religious leader. And Ahmadinejad was the president. He was elected, and the people felt it was a fraudulent election. And so this Green Movement rose up. And it was quickly squelched, heavy hand of the army, and arrests were made. But what it showed was that the people were unhappy. This is 2009. Many of those people, they were all young people. Most revolutions have started and acted upon by young people who want change. Many of those young people now, 15 years later, 16 years later, they're in their 30s. They're still young. The question for Iran is, you can't fight on two fronts. The Revolutionary Guard can defend the country as an army against an Israeli attack. But what it can't do is fight their own people at the same time. And that's going to be the telltale sign. The people will rise up if and when Israel continues this annihilation of Iran militarily, not the people, not innocent babies, women and babies. Donald Trump has played this incredibly brilliant. And I know a lot of people don't like him. I tend to like the guy very much. But I will tell you, if you're not fair in your assessment of how Donald Trump has handled this entire situation over the last 10 days, you are not paying attention, and you are way too emotional in your hatred of Donald Trump. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. We're going to have such a good time. Now I wanted to move really quickly. Thomas Massie, let me tell you something. I saw this meme. It said Paul Massie in 2028, Paul Massie 2028. And it was just a meme, right? And when I saw it, I said to myself, man, I would volunteer on that campaign. Rand Paul and Thomas Massie for 2028. I would literally volunteer on that campaign. Like, I would ask my management here, hey, is it okay if when I get off the air at 9 o'clock, from 9 to 5, I volunteer on this campaign in Georgia? I would definitely do that. Thomas Massie is trying to file he filed a House resolution seeking to block U.S. involvement in the conflict between Iran and Israel. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to, the War Powers Resolution of 1973, which would block Donald Trump from engaging in unauthorized hostilities with Iran. Basically, what he's trying to do is pull back the War Powers Authorization back into Congress where it used to be. Barack Obama, surprisingly enough, was the one who kind of pushed the envelope where the president had the power to just wage war without Congress's consent. And Massie wrote when he was posting this, he said, "This is not our war. Even if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution." And he's absolutely right. I don't know that this will pass. I spoke to John Decker, which we're going to play next for you in the next segment. John Decker, the White House correspondent for WSB Radio, and I asked him that question, and it's fascinating what his answer was, because I didn't say to him, because it was a short interview, I didn't say to him I disagreed, but I disagree. I think that bill can get some traction in the House. Now, Republicans may vote against it, but they kind of will be flying in the face of the will of the people, particularly MAGA. Now, MAGA likes Donald Trump, but I'm not sure MAGA wants the president, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, or whoever wins in 2028, to have full power to go to war without the consent of Congress, which is actually the consent of the people. So we've got to pay attention to that bill. I am there's one guy I've been trying to get on my show. There's several people I want dream interviews with. I've interviewed the president. I've interviewed a bunch of elected officials. But Thomas Massie, if anybody listening to me right now can get me in touch with Representative Congressman Thomas Massie, I would love you forever, because I want that guy on my show. We're here. I'm here until 12 noon. My name is Shelley Winter, filling in for Mark Arum. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Alan Sanders is filling in for me tonight, but we are going to have fun. We're going to talk a lot, and you're going to call a lot. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Now let's go check traffic with my brother, Smiling Mark.
Hey, good morning, Shelley. The east side perimeter out of Clarkston finally recovering. We had a box truck that went out its side early this morning. Finally, in the past 30 minutes, they got that out of there. All lanes open. Still a bit slow on 285 southbound near Memorial Drive, exit 41. Tough go of it into Doraville and Dunwoody across the north side perimeter. Slow from I-85 past Peachtree Boulevard. That's putting a little extra pressure on the southbound ride. Peachtree Boulevard leaving Tilly Mill Road. 75 starting to recover in Marietta. In northwest Atlanta, little slow 75 southbound approaching Northside Drive as you work towards 17th Street in Georgia Tech. This report sponsored by Sam's Club. Ready for some locked-in summer values at Sam's Club till July 22nd. Prices are held on over 1,000 items, including summer must-haves like ice cream. Sign up for a membership and join at samsclub.com/join. Smiling Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
I've listened to many arguments, and there are good arguments to say that we shouldn't. I'm just saying.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
This is the only way to do it. Some people are going to lose their job, and then they're going to be put back in the job.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
It's about you. You're being celebrated.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Critters creeping? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia, every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
First impressions matter, especially in the summer. Wise Guys Pro Wash will make sure your home makes the right impression. Soft wash, safe results, and zero hassle. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your home, driveway, deck, or roof wash. Book at wiseguysprowash.com.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum, ladies and gentlemen. Just talking about Israel. We'll be chiming in on this story all morning long, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow me on all social media, SHELLEYWYNTER on Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, everything. It's all the same. Shelley Winter or Shelley Winter Show. Or you can watch the live stream at WSBRadio.com. Oh, yes. So I got a chance to talk to John Decker, White House correspondent. Here's our conversation. I'm on the phone with White House correspondent John Decker. John, what are you hearing up at the White House is happening right now or late last night around Iran and Israel?
Well, the president met with his national security team at the White House. More of those meetings will take place today. The first time that we may see and hear the president today in regards to possible U.S. military action concerning Iran will be early this afternoon. That's when the president will have his new ambassador to France sworn in, and we could get the president to speak about what the latest is, his latest intelligence, his latest belief in terms of whether or not military action against Iran is necessary right now.
The Ayatollah spoke this morning. Was there any reaction from the White House based on what the Ayatollah said?
It's too soon to get that kind of reaction. The Ayatollah is considered to be the supreme leader of Iran. The president putting out on social media yesterday that the U.S. knows where the supreme leader of Iran, the Ayatollah, is based right now could take him out, in the president's words, if the U.S. wanted to. He's urging Iran, imploring Iran to end its nuclear ambitions, to end the conflict with Israel, and to stop those military strikes that it has launched against Israel over the course of the past few days.
As someone that's up at the White House every day, we see this kind of intra-battle, MAGA battle between the Tucker Carlsons, the MTGs of the world.
That's true.
And the other side. At the White House, how is this playing with staff? Are there sides being taken that you can see?
No, you don't see that openly. But, there are obviously individuals within the Republican Party as a whole that would consider themselves to be national security hawks, that want to take a hard line against Iran. And then there are those doves within the Republican Party like Tucker Carlson that doesn't want to see any U.S. military involvement concerning Iran.
We're on the phone with John Decker, White House correspondent. Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna have co-sponsored a bill to kind of bring back the War Authorization Act back into the hands of Congress. What's the feeling at the White House around that bill? Do they think it'll go anywhere? Do they think it's all...
Congress can do what it wants to do. I don't think that particular legislation will have any bipartisan. Well, it will have bipartisan support, given that Congressman Massey's attached to it. But I don't think it's going to have broad bipartisan support. It's not going to pass the House. It's not going to pass the Senate. The issue of who controls the foreign policy of the United States is vested in the President of the United States. So that's not going to change anything concerning the President's plans concerning Iran.
In the next 72 hours, what do you anticipate? Can you see full-fledged war breaking out by the weekend, or do you think everyone's going to come to the table?
I don't know. Anybody that answers that question, I think, is just guessing. I simply don't know. I don't know what the president's thinking is. I don't know what kind of intelligence he has, the Israelis have, that they share with the U.S. I think it's really just a wait and see. That's the reason why we are waiting to hear what the president has to say, his views on this situation.
The president has kind of gone back and forth, if you will. He's talked tough against Iran or to Iran. He's also talked, about not really wanting to get too much involved. Then he's puffed up his chest. Can anybody, I know it's a guess for all of us, but can anybody guess where his mindset may be when he speaks later on this morning?
Well, the president, has often bragged of the fact that there were no wars during his first term. There was military action taken in his first term, but no wars, that he started. This would be a conflict that would be begun by the U.S., and that would be certainly against what the president has bragged about over the course of, his time as president.
We appreciate you, White House correspondent John Decker.
Thank you
so much for joining.
So much.
Yeah, thank you for joining the Mark Arum Show. Talk to you soon. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, going to talk about the federal minimum wage. Senator Hawley wants to do, raise it to $15 an hour. Also, blue-collar wage growth under my guy, President Donald Trump. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Shelley Winter in for my little brother, Mark Arum. We'll be right back.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's best choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwind.com today to schedule your free consultation.
With our weather extremes, I wanted windows that would stand the test of time. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns, and I found them. I love my Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows. I was blown away. They're energy efficient and incredibly durable. 8 times stronger than vinyl, so they last. Experience the fiberglass difference at your home or in their new Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming and our top story. Following the latest count released this morning showing the U.S. jobless numbers remain at historically low levels, we're awaiting the latest announcement today from the Federal Reserve, which is not expected to cut interest rates. Business contributor Javier David says questions about the future U.S. trade policy is causing the Fed to remain cautious.
They're a tremendous source of uncertainty. Tariffs or taxes raise costs on businesses and consumers.
rising prices are inflationary. It's bad for everyone and costly for everyone.
Analysts also point to possible rising oil prices from the disturbance in the Middle East. This morning's Fed announcement is expected this afternoon at 2. It's currently 74 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says it'll be another hot one today. Temperature getting up near 90 degrees. It'll get even hotter into the weekend and next week. Rain chance really ratchets back up tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate, dependable forecast is coming up. Now updating Israel at war. We're hearing this morning from the supreme leader of Iran after the latest round of airstrikes by Israel overnight, and reports that President Trump's considering U.S. strikes on Iran as well.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has just been speaking on state television, warning President Trump of, quote, irreparable harm if the U.S. joins Israel's strikes, adding, Iranians do not surrender.
That's correspondent Vicky Barker. Now you can tune in often for the latest in the conflict between Israel and Iran. We'll have coverage at the top and bottom of every hour and when it breaks. Waiting to see what's next in Decatur after a mass grave is found during construction of a multi-use path near Legacy Park in the city's downtown area.
The State Historic Preservation Office used ground-penetrating radar to find out what lay beneath the soil near the site of an old Methodist children's home. The city's Kara Scherer details what was found.
It indicates conditions that may correspond with 32 additional burials for a potential total of 33 burials.
Specifically, 1 adult, 22 children, 8 infants, and 2 cremations. A group has already been formed to memorialize those buried. Alternate plans for the path are in the works, but construction is still on hold. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Well, his attorney calls it a shakedown. Tyler Perry denies accusations that he sexually assaulted an actor who worked on some of his movies. Derek Dixon says the Atlanta-based movie mogul first noticed him while he worked with the event staff at one of Perry's parties here in Atlanta. Dixon claims Perry later sent him unwanted sexual text messages and assaulted him over several occasions. His lawsuit is seeking $260 million. Perry says he'll fight the charges. And Ford issues a new recall for its Mustang Mach-E electric vehicle because a low battery can cause the doors to lock.
A software glitch can cause what Ford calls a lockout condition. Those inside can get out, but a child or disabled person may not be able to use the door release handle. Ford's working on a software update.
Auto reporter Jeff Gilbert says the global recall includes more than 300,000 vehicles from 2021 to 25 model years. It is 9:33 as we check your money. Mixed bag right now on Wall Street as the bell rings for your Wednesday. Dow and S&P up slightly. NASDAQ is down slightly. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather starting in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. And Smile, Mark McKay.
All right, construction set up on the east side. Judd, right lanes knocked out outbound. I-20 eastbound at Wesley Chapel Road. Still pretty thick between Evans Mill and Panola exit 71 as that ongoing work continues alongside I-20 over to I-285. Out of the northern suburbs this morning, quite the crowd still in place between Duluth and Norcross. 85 southbound on the brakes from Pleasant Hill Road. Get past Indian Trail. You're in better shape heading to 285. Almost cleaned up out of Alpharetta with 400 southbound brake lights approaching Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. And only right lane slowing now through Marietta. I-75 southbound leaving the Lockheed Dobbins exit Delk Road down to I-285. Smile, Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid with a high near 90s. Staying dry for the majority of the area. Just a slim chance of an isolated pop-up storm. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms rolling through. High 89. Drying out on Friday. High 91.
74 degrees in Snellville, 75 in Canton, 75 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
The U.S. is investing up to $1 billion to fight the spread of bird flu.
At the top and bottom of every hour.
Traffic congestion around Metro Atlanta continues to cost commuters.
And when it breaks.
The suspect is in critical condition after being struck multiple times.
Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day for the latest.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
So during the election, Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Arum. During the election, I was on CNN to talk about the upcoming 2024 election. I used an analogy that I won't use here on the air, but the analogy that I talked about blue-collar workers were going to vote for Donald Trump, African-American, Hispanic, and white men. They were going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm going to prove to you why they were right. Coming up next on Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Arum on the Mark Arum Show.
Summer's here, and so are the backyard parties, barbecues, and pool days. Is your house ready? Wise Guys Pro Wash can help get your home, driveway, and deck back to new in no time. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Book now at wiseguysprowash.com.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Sleep apnea could be silently wrecking your health. Untreated, it spikes your risk of heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. Are you snoring loudly? Waking up exhausted? Your body's sounding the alarm. Don't ignore it. Are you frustrated with a CPAP? Those bulky masks and noisy tubes aren't for everyone. Palmetto Sleep has a better answer. Custom oral appliances, quiet, comfortable, and perfect for mild to moderate sleep apnea. Sleep better, feel better. No sleep lab needed. Get an at-home sleep test in your own bed, often covered by Medicare or your company plans. Save your health. Call Palmetto Sleep now at 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. Palmetto Sleep, your health deserves better. Call 770-230-0222. That's the phone number. Get a good night's sleep now. Call Palmetto Sleep.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. You can follow me on all my social media, SHELLEYWYNTER, or Shelley Winter Show across all social media. I post videos of my segments on my Facebook a lot, every day, every night. I normally air 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, so you can check me out during those times. Tonight, I will not be in tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. Alan Sanders will be filling in for me, so please listen to him. He's very good at what he does as well as everybody here is very good at what we do. I want to, I need to talk about this, all right? Because, when you do this for a living, you share your opinions, right? And everyone has an opinion, right? You're able to share your opinion at 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. So everyone has one. But when you're paid to share your opinion, you kind of, you take pride in being correct, right? You take pride in being right. And one of the things I like to take pride in is being right, because people yell at me when I share my opinion. They come on my social media, they call in, they yell at me, and they tell me I'm wrong, and this, that, and the other. And so when I'm right, and it happens a lot, by the way, I'm humble. I'm showing a little humility now, but I am right a lot. During an election, I was the only person to tell everybody during our roundtable. I said the race will be called, Donald Trump will win by 1 o'clock in the morning, and that happened. I was on air when they called the race for Donald Trump. It wasn't going to be a long, drawn-out process. We would know immediately. And I knew he was going to win, and I knew he was going to win big. I said that as well. So I was on CNN one time. They didn't. I was on CNN years ago, and I was kind of banned before. And finally, I guess they got new people, and they didn't know who I was, and they invited me back. This was leading up to the election. And I said, oh, wow, I'm back on. They invited me back to CNN. And so I was on there again. I'm banned again. But I made a comment, and I'm not going to use the analogy I used. Maybe it was too far out there, but the point I was making came to be true. I was making a point that blue-collar workers, white blue-collar workers, male, by the way, male white blue-collar workers, African-American blue-collar workers, Hispanic blue-collar workers, all men would go and vote for Donald Trump in record numbers. And if you look at the African-American male numbers, he got around 24, 25%, which I had predicted as well. It'd be in the mid-20s. I said that during the campaign. And people called me crazy. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. There's no way. But I knew the streets. When I say the streets, I mean those guys, the Amazon warehouse guy, the guy that drives Uber and Lyft and DoorDash to put food on his family's table, those younger workers, those guys that use their hands, contractors, construction, landscaping, those people that work with their hands, blue-collar guys, real men. I'm not saying that the white-collar workers are not real men, but you know what I mean, right? So since Richard Nixon, 1969, 0.8% growth in blue-collar wages. Under Carter, 0. Under Reagan, 0.9% decrease in wage growth. Under H.W., 3% decrease in wage growth. Clinton, 0.6% decrease. Under W, 0.6% decrease. Obama, 0.3% decrease. Under Trump's first term, 1.3% increase. So blue-collar workers who went to the polls and voted for Donald Trump, they said, I was making more money under Donald Trump's first term. So you could tell me all the personal things you hate about him. You could tell me he's Hitler. You could tell me he's a racist. You can tell me all of these things. But I know as a blue-collar worker, as a man that's struggling to get ahead, as a man that wants to put food on his family's table, who wants to provide for his children, as God intended him to provide and protect his family, I know I made more money under Donald Trump, so I'm going back to the polls to vote for him in 2020. But people call them crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. They have no college degree. Under Joe Biden, 1.7% decrease in blue-collar wage growth. Since Nixon in 1969, it just came out within 6 months. It's not a 4-year term. Within 6 months, Donald Trump has a 1.7% increase in blue-collar wage growth. So for all of you who looked at the demographic turnout for Donald Trump, who said, well, he mostly got non-college educated people. They don't know what they're doing because they don't have a college degree. They knew what they were doing because they knew they made more money under Donald Trump the first time, and they were planning on it and banking on making more money under his second term. And in 6 months, the blue-collar wage growth has grown 1.7%. I said that on CNN during the lead up to the election, and they called me crazy. They banned me from coming back because of the analogy I used when I was regarding African-American workers. But I was right. I was right. And those people, more importantly than me being right, I mean, that's not important really necessarily, but what's really important is that the people, those blue-collar workers who went to the polls to vote for Donald Trump, against the name-calling, against being told they don't know what they're doing, against all of that, those men were right as well. Because in 6 months, blue-collar wage growth has gone up 1.7%. Now, let me tell you something. You might say to yourself, Shelley, what's 1.7%? What is that? What is that? Let me tell you, to a guy that's struggling, to a man that's struggling to raise a family in this current economic climate, particularly with the past 4 years, 1.7% is millions of dollars, it feels like, because you're struggling. So any increase when you're struggling is an increase, and it means a lot. And to know
that the guy you got yelled at for, the guy you got name called for, the guy that you were told you have no idea what you're doing, you're not college educated, you're not very smart, you need us to lead you, you need us to tell you what to do, you need to listen to us because we're college educated, we went to the Ivy Leagues, we know what we're talking about, you need to vote for Harris. For those men, 1.7% is like hitting the lottery. Because not only do they feel right about their vote, they know they're making more money. And when you're marginal and you're working class and you're lower middle class and you're trying to move up and you're just trying to go on vacation once a year, even if it's just driving in a pickup truck to some 60 miles away from home and getting a stay and staying in a staycation, and the pool that you're going to use is the hotel pool and that's going to feel like the beach, 1.7% is everything. I was right. The blue-collar workers who voted for Donald Trump, white, Hispanic, and African-American, they were right. And they're going to be proven right because that number's only going to go up. Because as you stop letting in illegal immigrants, pressures on wages get lessened and wages go up. And that's what we're seeing. More skilled labor are being hired by companies because there's not unskilled labor coming into the country, depressing wages. You see? Everything that he's doing is working. You can have your No King Day march. You could do it again on July 17th. Have at it. I hope tens of millions of you come out because by and large, they're going to be retired, white, college-educated people. Your working class, your white working class male, your black working class male, your Hispanic working class male, those people are going to be working or firing up their small grill in their small backyard or in their apartment complex, cheering and spending their 1.7% wage increase. While you highly educated bourgeois go out in the streets and yell No King Day, they're going to be at home with their families cheering for the king. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. My name is Shelley Winter. I normally air 7 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I'm only filling in for my little brother, Mark Arum. Let's go check traffic with my big brother, Smiling Mark McKay.
All right, Shelley, trying to get into downtown Atlanta. Still a tough go of it out of Buckhead and Brookhaven. I'm seeing delays still in place. 85 southbound approaching North Druid Hills Road. That's exit 89. And out of Buckhead approaching Sidney Marcus. That's because 85 is slow through northeast Atlanta. Atlanta police were working an issue on the left shoulder, 75-85 southbound at 17th Street, slowing both 85 and 75 working to Midtown. Get past Georgia Tech. The connector southbound works pretty well into the I-20 interchange. Still slowing 75-85 northbound, headed toward Midtown and downtown from University Avenue, exit 244, up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. This report sponsored by Starbucks. The Starbucks Summer Berry Refresher is back. Notes of raspberry, blueberry, and blackberry, shaken with ice and poured over raspberry-flavored pearls. Your Summer Berry Refresher is ready at Starbucks. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
Why do you always go after the game show host of The Price is Right?
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Don't tell me how to handle my life.
Eric Von Hessler.
Or anyone else.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
That's it. No more showers for anyone.
Honey, what's happening?
Our water bill is higher than the mortgage.
If your water bill is very high, you've got a leak. Call Delta Plumbing, the educated plumber. With over 50 years' experience, they are the leak experts. Using state-of-the-art leak detection technology, they'll find and fix your leak without guessing games.
How fast can you get here?
Leak detection at educatedplumber.com. Problem solved.
With 5 miles of private beach and endless outdoor activities, Sea Island is summer at its best. Book today at seaisland.com/summer and enjoy 30% off August stays plus a $250 resort credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Aram. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years, and Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about MediShare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And MediShare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Man, we got a heat wave coming. I'm Shelley Winter, filling in for Mark Aram. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you've never checked out my show, please give us a listen. Well, next week, because, well, you can listen tonight, too. But if you want to hear my show with me, I'll be on back on 7 to 9 p.m. I keep saying 7 to 10. That must be Freudian slips. I'm sorry. It's 7 to 9 p.m. I'll be back on Monday and Tuesday of next week. And then I'm going on vacation. And I'm going on vacation to the Caribbean for my family reunion. But while I'm going, I'm being told there's a heat wave coming. And it's going to be the highest temperatures of the year so far. And I'm so happy that I won't be here because the heat is different. It's different being in a Caribbean where it's 80s, high 80s, 90 degrees, but it's not humid. You don't have air conditioning. You don't have smog. You don't have all the stuff going on. And it's beaches. I don't mind laying on a beach in the Caribbean Sea in 90-degree weather. It kind of doesn't even feel 90 at that point. But sitting in the middle of city of Atlanta in your house with no pool in 90 degrees, it is muggy, it is sticky, and it stinks. So I'm glad I won't be here for the heat wave. I do want to take a couple minutes. My show, the tagline I use for my show every night is live, local, topical, and relevant. And the most important of those four is live. Well, the most important is local. I tend to focus on national news and the big stories, but I'm hyper-focused on local stories, local news. And one of the big local stories that you will not hear anyplace else but right here, right now, is the DeKalb County GOP chair. Her name is Marcy McCarthy. She is probably the best county chair
woman or chairperson in the entire state of Georgia for the GOP. She increased the turnout for Republicans in the last election. This is in DeKalb County, solid blue, right? She increased turnout. She recruited and ran several Republicans for state house seats, state senate seats, and local school board and local DeKalb County commission seats. She got people involved. She grew the membership. She did everything. She did it so well that Donald Trump in the White House appointed her to the cybersecurity at Department of Homeland Security. They appointed her as public affairs. She's the deputy in public affairs. She's the deputy director for public affairs at the cybersecurity of Department of Homeland Security. And we're so close. She's such a good friend of mine that I flew up to D.C. last couple weekends ago to celebrate her being sworn in and go to her swearing in. So I say all of that to say that because she's going to D.C. and she's in D.C. now, tomorrow in DeKalb County, they're having an election for her new chair. And that person that should be elected should be Kendra Bogalski, right? She's endorsed by Marcy. She's done the work. Everyone on the current administration, the current executive officer team for DeKalb County GOP supports her. There's no reason anybody else should be running. They should all just follow what Marcy wants to have happen, because Marcy is leaving because she got appointed to a new position and she has to move to Washington, D.C. So she can't keep the seat because she wouldn't be active. So she's giving up the seat and she's endorsing Kendra Bogalski. That election is tomorrow night for DeKalb County members of the GOP, DeKalb County GOP. Please vote for Kendra Bogalski. That's the best choice. Why? Not only is she good, not only is she smart, she's got a PhD in engineering, okay? That's the kind of people I want running any county chair seat or any kind of GOP chair, any kind of county GOP organization. But more importantly than that, she's also endorsed by the highly successful, probably the best county chairperson in the entire state of Georgia, Marcy McCarthy. So don't play around DeKalb County. Just elect Kendra, keep it moving, and continue to have growing success in DeKalb County for the DeKalb County GOP. When we come back, I'm going to have my interview. I'll play my interview for you with Shannon Kingston. She's ABC News reporter. We're talking about Israel. We're talking about the Middle East. We're talking about what's to come. Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Arum. We will be right back. 404-872-0750. 1-800-WSB Talk.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Termites, like me, eat 24/7, and your home is in their path of destruction. Mark Arum here for Breda Pest Management. You want a complete barrier from Breda, not just a bait station. If your current service only inspects the outside, how do you know the inside of your home's termite-free? Breda is better at beating termites. Only Breda inspects and protects the outside and inside. Plus, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
365 days a year, just call us up, we'll be right there. Our service is guaranteed. As you mate, we take great care. Our experts are always there for you and your family's needs. When your family just can't wait, you can always count on Shoemate.
I need to tell you folks that change is always happening. It's a big part of life. It's Mark Arum here. You know, when it comes to music, change, it's all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. I listen to stuff a lot different than I did 20, 30, 40 years ago. But no matter how things change in 5 years, the one thing that will stay the same, the price of your internet. Xfinity, introducing a 5-year price guarantee. Means you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Well, life's full of them. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. and subject to change. New residential customers only. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA fixed broadband experience report August of 2024. All the details online at Xfinity.com/deals.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by TE's Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our top local story, a man's dead and a bystander is injured in an overnight shooting in Norcross. Gwinnett County Police Corporal Ryan Winderweedle says it happened on Dawson Boulevard just off I-85 and Jimmy Carter Boulevard.
The victim is identified as an Andre Jones, a 29-year-old out of Norcross.
A bystander was also shot in the leg and is recovering in that incident. The agency says they're still working on figuring out an exact motive. No word on any suspects or arrests, and they are asking any witnesses or those with info to contact the agency. Right now, it's 76 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. Some clouds around today. It's hot, too. We'll hit the 90s today. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Updating Israel at war, Iran's supreme leader rejects U.S. calls for surrender and warns any military involvement by Americans would cause, quote, irreparable damage, end quote, to the U.S. Iranian ambassador to the UN, Ali Bahraini, says Iran's keeping a close eye on the U.S.
We firmly believe that the United States is a complicit in what Israel is doing. Israel without United States is nothing.
It follows overnight attacks between Israel and Iran. Iran launched a barrage of missiles with no reported injuries. President Trump, meanwhile, is reportedly weighing whether the U.S. should take a more active role in the conflict. A ribbon-cutting ceremony marks a new era of safer driving in South Fulton with the introduction of a roundabout at a busy and deadly intersection. South Fulton City Council member Carmelita Gum says this has been a long time coming.
We are showing that we are committed to making sure that people can travel safely throughout our city, improving these intersections that we have had, multiple fatalities at.
The $4.4 million overhaul is at the intersection of Butner and Union Roads, and it addresses a number of community concerns. While happening today, the Federal Reserve will meet to make a decision on interest rates. Economists expect the Fed will hold rates steady, which is good for savers but bad for borrowers.
It's crazy right now. You can go online and find savings rates at 3.5% to 4.5% for high-yield savings accounts, CDs. But borrowers, boy, is it tough. If you look at average credit card interest rates, over 21%. You go buy a new car, you get a 5-year loan, it's 8%.
Jill Schlesinger reports it comes amid pressure from the Trump administration to cut rates. That decision's due out in the 2 o'clock hour this afternoon. Ford issues a recall for more than 300,000 Mustang Mach-E vehicles because a low 12-volt battery can cause the doors to lock.
A software glitch can cause what Ford calls a lockout condition. Those inside can get out, but a child or disabled person may not be able to use the door release handle.
Jeff Gilbert reports Ford's working on a software update. That recall applies to 2021 to 2025 Mach-E's. A new report shows Georgia ranks among the worst for bacterial contamination in retail meat.
A new analysis of FDA data shows Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee rank highest for overall contamination risk. Now, according to this report, chicken is the most contaminated meat in Georgia, followed by ground turkey, pork chops, and then ground beef. According to the CDC, an estimated 48 million people in the United States get sick from foodborne illness each year. Of those, about 128,000 end up in the hospital, 3,000 die. Bacterial contamination of retail meat, a major contributor. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It's 10:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes, but first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay's live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, Austin, it's Ashley here monitoring delays downtown. That slow ride continues a little crowded on 75-85 northbound coming up from University Avenue and 85 south in Georgia. 400 south still slow at their merge. Got a slowdown, not sure of the cause, in Clayton County on that ramp from 285 east onto I-75 southbound, and roadwork setting up out of Roswell on 400 southbound in the left lane below Northridge. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy today, hot and humid with a high near 90. Just a slim chance of an isolated pop-up storm. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, high 89. Drying out on Friday, partly cloudy, high 91.
Right now it's 77 degrees in Sandy Springs, 77 in College Park, and 76 in Midtown. More news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. My show normally airs 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Alan Sanders will be filling in for me. And you can follow us at WSB Radio. You can watch the live stream at WSBradio.com and just listen to this entire station every single day. I'm such a troll. I had something snarky to say, but I'm not going to say it. Why do I like to get myself in trouble? I don't know. Anyway, I'm in for Mark Aram. I had a chance this morning to talk to Shannon Kingston. She's the ABC News reporter, and we talked about what's going on in the Middle East, our reaction, Israel, what's happening, what's going on, and what we can see coming up in the very near future in the next couple days. But one of the things I asked her, well, listen to the interview because I'll talk about it afterwards, one of the more fascinating answers that she gave. Here it is. Good morning, Shannon. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
So let's start off with diplomacy. Do you think it's going to work here? Will Iran come to the table?
Well, it's hard to say right now, but U.S. officials are setting every expectation that these next 24 to 48 hours are going to be enormously telling when it comes to figure out if a diplomatic solution with Iran is possible or if President Trump might resort to military action instead. We do know that the president is considering a range of options that have been presented by his national security team, including using U.S. military assets to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. But we also know that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has said that he has rejected Trump's call for an unconditional surrender. And he's saying that if the U.S. decides to fully enter the fray here, that it would lead to an all-out war.
Now, it seems to me like we have entered the fray, or like, you know what I mean? What does he mean by enter the fray? Because it seems to the just regular person like myself that we already have entered the fray.
Well, it is a complicated red line here, and that's because the U.S. has provided some assistance to Israel, but that help has been limited so far to intelligence sharing and also helping Israel defend itself from the missiles that Iran has launched in retaliation. So really what Iranian leaders here are looking to is whether the U.S. is going to actually directly use the force of the American military to strike Iranian nuclear facilities, specifically looking at the Fordow fuel enrichment plant. The reason that is so critical is because it is deep underground, and military analysts say that to fully take that out, what's probably going to be necessary is the U.S. using some of its very heavy, very powerful bunker buster bombs. These are assets that Israel doesn't have.
What happens if Iran doesn't budge, which based on Khamenei's words saying he would never surrender? What if they don't budge? What happens next?
Well, we do know that the president is very frustrated. He's grown very impatient with the situation, and sources close to him say that he is highly reluctant to allow for a situation where it appears that Iran has successfully called his bluff. So he is seemingly very likely to put some action behind his ramped-up rhetoric. But it's also important to know that what Iran says in public is one thing. What Iran says in private is often quite another. And we do know that the Iranian regime has at least loosely indicated that it does want to return to the table and negotiate with the U.S. But really what negotiators are looking for right now is a sign that if Iran does come back to negotiations, it's going to be willing to back off some of its key demands on being allowed to continue to enrich uranium for its nuclear program. something the president has said is just a non-starter.
One of the things, we're on the phone with Shannon Kingston from ABC News talking about Iran and Israel. One of the things that I'm noticing, and I'm seeing it personally in my own life as a quote-unquote MAGA supporter, is that there's this big fight within MAGA about what happens next and how far and how much support and how much we do in this regional conflict. Are you seeing that too, and what are your sources telling you is going on at the White House?
Yeah, absolutely, Shelley. It's a good observation. And really, the Republican Party is split. And this is a rarity because we do know that Republicans on Capitol Hill have been pretty much aligned behind the president on most key issues since he returned to the White House. But this is different because on one hand, you do have the more hawkish Republicans who are aligning with Israel, and they see that Iran is weak right now, and that if the U.S. does get involved, if military force is used, perhaps this could really turn the trajectory of the country, of the region for the better. But then you also have, of course, the MAGA Republicans who are saying, this is not putting America first. They see the potential for the U.S. to get involved in another forever war in the Middle East, and, that has set alarm bells for them. So really, it's going to come down to who is the president listening to. Some of those more hawkish advisors, Lindsey Graham's the world. Some would have said it was, Secretary of State / National Security Advisor Marco Rubio used to definitely align that way. He's come a little bit more towards the MAGA side now. And of course, there have been some notable critics of the president's stance, including Tucker Carlson. But President Trump, he does not like this taco nickname, Trump always chickens out. So he definitely doesn't want to play into that narrative at all.
Wow. That's fascinating that you just mentioned that, because I never thought about that, how much that nickname that just popped up over tariffs can play in his decision making. I saw where he had retweeted out a message that Ambassador Huckabee sent him about praying, and this is a huge decision. It's just fascinating to watch all of this play out. The bombers that are headed over there, they're also nuclear bombers, but I know they carry the big bombs. Because they're described as nuclear bombers, are they just carrying the 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs, or are they also carrying nuclear weapons? Do you know anything regarding that situation?
So really, it's the B-2s that are the aircraft that can carry the heavy bombs, the B-2 Spirits. Those are all currently at the Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. So those are, we might see them moving towards the Middle East. It doesn't necessarily mean for sure that there's going to be military action involving bunker busters, but sometimes the decision is made to get them into position just in case that's the course of action the president wants to take. But the other lighter aircraft, those, the B-52 long-range bombers, they are capable of carrying nuclear weapons, but that doesn't mean they have to be carrying. They're really a more versatile aircraft.
Understood. Shannon Kingston, what can we expect over the next 72 hours? Do you think this thing just blows up in our faces and becomes a full-fledged war, or do you think all parties take a step back and we're going into negotiations with Iran?
I think everybody is expecting that this is going to be the president's decision to make at the end of the day. Only he can make this call. So, a lot is weighing on him. He has those options that he's looking over. And, his frustrations with Iran, there are a couple factors here that we just can't predict. If, for instance, a lot of Iranian leaders, top officials, nuclear scientists, negotiators, they've been taken out in recent days. Iran was really caught on the back heel here. So part of the frustration the president is feeling that these answers from Iran aren't getting to him fast enough. Part of it might not be Iran holding back. Part of it might be that Iran just isn't capable. They're not in a position right now to get him these answers, to get to the negotiating table. So there are so many intangibles here, but I think we'll have a lot more clarity fairly soon.
Thank you, Shannon. Have a wonderful day. God bless you, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Shelley. You too.
That was Shannon Kingston, ABC News reporter, breaking down what's going on in the Middle East. What I was telling you to listen for, and I hope you found it as interesting as I did, is as interesting an observation as I did when we were talking about Donald Trump and what he's going to do, right? and the talk tough and unconditional surrender and the Ayatollah saying that there's no way we will never surrender. One of the things when she brought up the taco nickname. So let me tell you, when Trump was levying tariffs on all these different countries, he would say 150% on China, and then he'd come back down to 100% a couple days later. And he was going up and down with these tariffs. And you remember, because that was the talk of the moment. That was the attack of the moment, as if you remember correctly, right? The tariffs. The tariffs were going to drive us into a recession, and the tariffs were going to destroy the economy. And I just told you, blue-collar wage growth is up. But that's neither here nor there. Forget what they told you for several days. Forget how they fear-mongered you. Oh, the sky is falling, and then nothing happens, and they keep it moving like they never said it. But we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. But during that time, when he was going back and forth with the tariffs, they came up, the anti-Trumpers, and came up with, actually it was Wall Street, came up with taco. Trump always chickens out. And it was called Taco, and memes were made, and the Drudge Report put it on their headlines, and everybody, ha ha ha, Trump always chickens out, Taco. But it was fascinating when Shannon brought it up. It makes you really think to yourself, is that at play as you talk tough with Iran? Is that at play? Because it impacted him. You know, these things impact Donald Trump. They impact anybody. Right, and strong personalities, right, like Donald Trump has, they don't want to be called a chicken. No one does. I mean, you and I don't want to be called a chicken, but you don't want your strength questioned, particularly when your entire career, pre-politics and during politics and post-politics, you want to be seen as a strong guy, as a decisive guy, as an in control, in command, in charge, a boss, if you will. And so that taco hurts. It hits hard. I'm sure I've interviewed the president. I've met him on 3 occasions personally, where I've personally stood in front of him and talked to him. One time was in the Oval Office at the White House, where I sat on that couch you see on the TV cameras when dignitaries come to the White House and sit in the Oval Office. Myself and about 5 or 6 other talk radio hosts were there that day. One of the biggest honors, one of the best memories I'll ever have. So I know I have a sense that I kind of know the guy, and calling him a racist, it doesn't matter to him because he knows he's not. Calling him a fascist doesn't matter to him. Calling him Hitler doesn't matter to him. But calling him a chicken, for a guy like that, it hurts. It hits hard. And Shannon bringing it up when we were talking about what his decision is going to be in the next couple days, it's really something to pay attention to. 448-720-750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Let's go check traffic with my little sister, Ashley Frasca.
Second overturned truck crash of the morning, Shelley, on the southeast perimeter. Mike spotted this. It's 285 west at Flat Shoals, exit 48. It was a truck hauling dirt. So dirt's all over the roadway. He's taken out the right lane. They will probably block more lanes as you leave I-20, the East Freeway. And had a temporary red alert leaving Flowery Branch, but lanes now open on 985 northbound at Atlanta Highway. Traffic brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The 8th IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Nitro Nation. Grab your tickets at IHRA.com. IHRA.com. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
If you have the WSB radio app.
If you have the WSB
all
app.
the notifications you
If
need.
you have the WSB app.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
We'll send out an alert on the WSB app.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it from your app store today.
Multiple contractors and estimates for your home projects? What a hassle. Instead, trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We're reliable, fully licensed, and insured. No muss, no fuss. Trust the Plus and leave everything on your list to us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
Americaine, je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
We're all getting long in the tooth, friends. Am I right? What about your heating and cooling systems? Are they aging? Well, let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. Reliable Heating and Air, licensed, bonded, and insured. Amazing service. I can tell you firsthand, Reliable is the best. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just amazing coverage for as low as $14.99 a month, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. So protect your aging heating and cooling system with the amazing folks at Reliable Heating and Air. Just $14.99 a month gives you amazing peace of mind. Get all the info and schedule a consultation online at reliableair.com. That's reliableair.com. Don't wait until your aging systems go kaput. Get your protection now at reliableair.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 16-ounce packages are only $4.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate the hassle this summer. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
Those wire shelves in your closet are just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Dave Baker for Artisan Custom Closets. At Artisan, we see it all the time. The wire shelves come crashing down. Clothes, shoes, bags are everywhere. It's a disaster zone. Save yourself before this happens to you. With a custom, spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to look at that clutter again. Your shoes, bags, clothes, accessories, all neatly organized and designed to to stay that way. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum, ladies and gentlemen. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., so come back tonight at 7 p.m. Alan Sanders is filling in for me today, tomorrow, and Friday, as I will be continuing to fill in for Mark Arum through the end of the week. You can follow us at WSBRadio.com. Watch the live stream at WSBRadio.com. And you can also follow us at WSB Radio on all social media. I want to pick up this conversation kind of quick, just a little bit, because Israel, this is really important what's happening in the Middle East. But what's interesting to me, and I don't know if anybody has really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, kind of acknowledged this part of it. Benjamin Netanyahu made a comment where he said, we have been dealing with this hostile regime for 30 years. And I thought to myself, wow, that is true. And what he means by that is that this regime, led by the Ayatollah and a successive presidents who are all pretty much handpicked by the Ayatollah, have been, propping up proxies to do their bidding, to do their fighting for them. And it's just, and everyone knew it. Everyone knew where the money was coming from. Everyone knew where the arms were coming from. Everyone knew it. But it was interesting when Netanyahu said that, because we tend as humans, with everything going on, like I talked about how the tariffs, remember the tariffs, I talked about this earlier, how the tariffs was such a big deal, right? Now, the whole economy was going to die if these tariffs are implemented, and what would happen, all that stuff. You remember that? It was just a couple weeks ago, literally. Here, news everywhere. The tariffs were the biggest thing. And so we tend to forget things that happened just yesterday. And we're consumed with today, the present. Our social media has trained us to be like that. So none of us have long memories. Human beings, traditionally, with a subject matter like this, we don't have long memories, because we're constantly being refreshed. We're constantly being presented with new information on all kinds of different things. So news becomes great. Oh, we got to talk about this today. But yesterday, it was something totally different. And that's just the nature of the business. But it's also the nature of the human mind. So a lot of us forget that Iran has literally been a pain, a thorn in the side of Israel, with backing Hezbollah, with backing Hamas, and other Muslim groups to pester, bother, murder Israelis. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. My name is Shelley Winter. I'm in for Mark Arum. When we come back, we're going to talk about TikTok. Where's TikTok? I thought we were getting rid of TikTok. We'll be right back. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum.
You don't want to play games when it comes to your roof. That's why you should call Finley Roofing, the experts who believe manners matter and who will treat your home like their own. So you'll be sure you get your roof done right. Learn more at finleyroofing.com.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. There's a reason factory is in our name. It's who we've been since day one. In times of uncertainty, OMF offers something increasingly rare: stability and consistency. While others chase trends, we've stayed ahead of the curve by remaining steadfast in what truly matters: quality products, locally built, at factory direct prices. Our commitment to American-made components isn't new for us. It's what we've practiced since our founding. We carefully select domestic materials from trusted suppliers, ensuring every element of your mattress meets our exacting standards. Our skilled employees build superior two-sided mattresses right here in town, a practice many others have long since abandoned. As manufacturing landscapes shift and supply chains fluctuate, we continue doing what we've always done: create exceptional American-made mattresses, treat our customers with respect, and offer tried-and-true quality that stands the test of time. Experience the OMF difference at any of our showrooms or originalmattress.com.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Sleep apnea could be silently wrecking your health. Untreated, it spikes your risk of heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. Are you snoring loudly? Waking up exhausted? Your body's sounding the alarm. Don't ignore it. Are you frustrated with a CPAP? Those bulky masks and noisy tubes aren't for everyone. Palmetto Sleep has a better answer. Custom oral appliances, quiet, comfortable, and perfect for mild to moderate sleep apnea. Sleep better, feel better. No sleep lab needed. Get an at-home sleep test in your own bed, often covered by Medicare or your company plans. Save your health. Call Palmetto Sleep now at 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. Palmetto Sleep, your health deserves better. Call 770-230-0222. That's the phone number. Get a good night's sleep now. Call Palmetto Sleep.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. In a perfect world, when you have a plumbing issue, you want a plumber that answers the phone when you call, shows up on time, respects your home, and tells you exactly what needs to be done, quotes you a price, and does the job right the first time. They appreciate your business, and Superior Plumbing becomes your plumber for life. Call Superior Plumbing to come fix your plumbing issues.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422-PLUM.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 10:30. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top story, the nation's high court upholds a Tennessee ban on gender-affirming care for transgender minors, a major setback for transgender rights. The Supreme Court Justice's 6-3 decision essentially protects from legal challenges as the White House and many state governments work to roll back protections for transgender people. 26 other states have laws similar to the one in Tennessee in question. 5 years ago, the Supreme Court ruled that transgender people are protected by a civil rights law that prohibits discrimination in the workplace. That ruling is not impacted. Updating Israel at war, Iran's supreme leader issues a response to U.S. calls for an unconditional surrender.
In an address to the Iranian people, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei called President Trump's call for an unconditional surrender ridiculous and unacceptable, saying Iran is not afraid of any threats and that America will suffer more than Iran if the U.S. joins the Israeli strikes.
Vicky Barker reports it comes at a pivotal moment as President Trump reportedly weighs whether or not to take a more active role. Tune in often for the latest in the conflict between Israel and Iran. We'll have coverage at the top and bottom of every hour and when it breaks. Tyler Perry vows to fight charges after an actor accuses the Atlanta-based movie mogul of sexual assault.
Before Derek Dixon appeared on Perry's TV drama The Oval, he worked with an event staff at one of Perry's parties. The lawsuit claims that's when Perry first noticed him and began sending him sexually explicit text messages. Dixon claims Perry later assaulted him on several occasions, including at Perry's home here in Atlanta. Dixon's lawsuit seeking $260 million. Perry's attorney says his client will not be shaken down. He accuses Dixon of only getting close to Perry to ultimately set up the scam. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
WSB recall alert. The USDA announces a recall of chicken fettuccine Alfredo products that may be linked to an outbreak strain of Listeria blamed for 3 deaths and 17 illnesses in 13 states. Fresh Realm is voluntarily recalling its tray packages that were sold at Walmart and Kroger stores produced prior to June 17th. The chicken Alfredo with fettuccine packages were sold under the Market Side or Home Chef brand names. New data shows rent is down in Atlanta, but still up significantly since before the pandemic.
Realtor.com says that rents in Atlanta were down 3.5% in May compared to a year ago, but still up by around 11% from 2019. The real estate site says the median asking rent in the Atlanta area was $1,576. That was less than the national median asking rent.
Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti reports even though rents are higher than 2019, growth during that time has lagged behind growth in home prices and overall inflation. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits dips to 245,000 last week amid uncertainty over U.S. trade policies. Also, the number of Americans collecting unemployment benefits this week, the week of June 7th, slid to 1.95 million. It is 10:33, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Well, Austin, problems on the perimeter. A new travel advisory as you leave Sandy Springs on 285 westbound. It looks like multiple vehicles involved in a crash before the Chattahoochee River and before I-75 as you enter into Cobb County there with multiple center lanes blocked. That is quickly going to stack up before New North Side, Powers Ferry. And we have a truck that was hauling dirt. It overturned on the southeast perimeter. Second overturned truck crash of the day there, 285 west at Flat Shoals. Authorities there blocking the right lane. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epworth. Partly cloudy, hot and humid with a high near 90s. Staying dry for the majority of the area. Just a slim chance of an isolated pop-up storm. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms rolling through. High 89. Drying out on Friday. High 91.
Right now it's 77 in Decatur, 78 in Vinings, and 77 in Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Well, your pet and your vet. I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Thursday at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, Clark Howard on a new way to pay for your pet's health care. Plus breaking Metro stories and our exclusive hot 5-day forecast. Watching, too, for important overnight developments in the Israel-Iran-U.S. story. Plus Scott Slade's Georgia This Week, the Georgia Sound, and how it could help unite America. Join us on 95.5 WSB.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Aram. I'm going to play a clip for you. It's a tease of Tucker Carlson's exclusive interview with Ted Cruz, and this is the hottest minute and a half you'll ever hear. That's coming up next as I fill in for Mark Aram. We'll be right back.
Popsicle drips, muddy shoes, and summertime messes. Don't let them take over your home. Call Zero-Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Zero-Res uses their ZR water technology, no dirt-attracting soaps, no harsh chemicals, just a truly clean, healthy home. Right now, take advantage of their summer sale. Get 15% off all services, that is carpets, air ducts, rugs, tile, and more, all 15% off. Just mention Chris Chandler or book now at ZeroResAtlanta.com, and yeah, they do commercial cleaning too. Zero-Res, all they leave is clean.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Termites have one job: to eat 24/7, and your home is directly in their path of destruction. Mark Aram here for my pals at Breda Pest Management. When something threatens the safety of your home, you want a complete barrier, not just a bait station. Only Breda offers Termidor, a liquid barrier system providing total protection. And Breda knows how critical it is to protect the inside of your home, not just the outside, from these eating machines. How are you supposed to know that your home's termite-free inside when your current termite company just walks around the outside of your house checking those bait stations? Breda is better at beating termites. So I want you to switch your termite protection to Breda now, and your rate locked in for 10 whole years, just like my house. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like termites. Get started at BREDApest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Shelley Winter. Good morning, everyone. Shelley Winter in for my little brother, Mark Aram. He'll be back next Monday. I'm here today, tomorrow, and Friday. Tune in. Stay tuned all day, of course. You got Eric Erickson coming up next, the great Eric Erickson. You got the very funny Von Hessler Doctrine, and very serious and funny and entertaining and informative, excuse me. Man, I don't know what's wrong with me. Informative. Von Hessler Doctrine coming up, and then Alan Sanders fills in for me. But I'm normally on the air every night, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And please check me out when you get a chance. And if you like the show, tell all your friends. But if you don't like it, just keep it to yourself and don't tell anybody. We appreciate you. I want to play this clip for you. Tucker Carlson's got an interview with Ted Cruz that drops on X, I think, tomorrow. But this is about a minute 26 seconds. And I usually don't like to play long clips like this, but this is fascinating. Listen to this back and forth for me. And then I quickly want to talk about it. Then I want to go to breaking news. Supreme Court has dropped a decision involving transgender rights, and we want to talk about that. But listen to this.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because,
it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that
because if
relevant?
you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not
okay.
even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay,
actually,
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
This is
Israel.
high stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
That is, I love Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is a brilliant litigator. If you've ever seen him in these hearings, he is brilliant. He is a master, and he's a master debater. Do you remember during the primary? He's a master at this stuff. That minute and a half is a total takedown of a guy. A total takedown. Tucker Carlson manhandles this guy. And yes, it is a big deal. Let me tell you why it's a big deal. If you're calling for the overthrow of a government as a sitting U.S. senator, you should know everything about that country. Everything about that country. You're calling for the country to be taken over. You're calling for a regime change. You're calling for the leadership to be taken out, whether the people love them or not. But you should know if the people do love them or don't. It's a masterclass what Tucker Carlson just did to Ted Cruz. Now, of course, it's a tease of an interview, and they want you to watch the interview. And, of course, I'm going to watch the interview. But it's a masterclass in basically pointing out you're calling for the murder and change of a major country, another sovereign nation, and you have not even the basic knowledge of that country. It's fascinating to watch. Let's talk about the breaking news. This happened literally 15 minutes ago. So cool working in the morning, filling in for Mark Arum, because see, when breaking news happens at night, you find out it's like after 9 o'clock. I was like, oh, this happened 20 minutes ago. I missed it. But when it happens in the morning, you see it. It pops right up. So actually, in this case, the executive producer of the Mark Arum Show sent me this story, meaning the corner office over there. So I went right to it.
As you should.
I went right to it, but I had to get that Tucker Carlson out. But Supreme Court delivers major blow to transgender rights, upholding the Tennessee ban. So essentially the justices' 6-3 decision, Tennessee effectively is protected from legal challenges because Tennessee had passed basically a ban on gender affirming care for transgender minors. So Tennessee basically passed a law saying that if you're a minor in Tennessee, you cannot receive gender affirming care. You can't, if you're a girl and you identify as a boy and you're a minor, you're under 18 years old, you cannot actually under age 19, you can't have your breasts removed, right? Because that's permanent. I am so on the side of the Supreme Court in this case. It's not saying that people cannot get gender affirming care. It's saying people that are too young to vote, right? We don't trust them to vote. Like, we don't go to a 12-year-old and say, hey, 12-year-old, who do you want for president? We don't go to a 12-year-old and say, you know what, you're 12 years old, you can drive. We don't go to a 12-year-old and say, you know what, 12 years old, come work for my company. I'm looking for an intern for my show during the summer, right? Most companies, and I'm pretty sure it's the same here, you have to be in college to be an intern. Am I right, Longoria? You have to be in college to be an intern. I have a high school student. He's a sophomore. He wants to get into politics. I'd love to get him as an intern, but I can't. He's in high school. But you all of these things they can't do as minors, but you're going to allow a minor to say, you know what? I think I'm a boy. I'm going to remove my breasts, and they'll be gone for the rest of my life. You're going to allow minors to make decisions that's going to stay with them forever? In Tennessee, you can't even get a tattoo below 18 years old. So why would you be able to cut any kind of part of your sexual organs? Why would you allow them to cut them off? I think the Supreme Court ruled well in this, and the media is making it sound like delivers this headline that I'm reading from AP delivers major blow to transgender rights. No, it didn't. No, it did not. This is not a major blow against transgender rights. This is a major protection against mutilating minors who may not be wise enough to know the long-term, lifelong effects of the decisions that they make at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. That's what this is. This is not a blow against transgender rights. Why would you even say it like that? It's minors. No one says at 20 years old, a woman or a guy can go and do whatever they want to. They're 20 years old. Go to have at it. You may regret it in 10 years. I did things at 20 that I regretted at 21. Heck, I regretted it 2 days later. But minors, and the three justices that ruled against Tennessee, I'm thinking to myself, why would you do that? It's just such a simple argument to me. No, we're not going to let minors mutilate themselves. Until they're adults, they can do whatever they want. Just like we don't let them drink beer. Just like we don't let them go into bars. Just like we don't let them join the army. Just like we don't let them vote. Just like we don't let them drive. There's so many things that minors cannot do. Why would you allow them to cut up their bodies? They can't smoke cigarettes. Do you know, if in any state in the union, if you're going into a bodega, that's what we call them in New York, and a kid is standing outside, 15, 16, 17 years old, and he says, hey, mister, or if you're in the South, they say, hey, Unc, can you get us a beer? And if I get their money and walk into the store and buy that minor a beer, I will be arrested. I would go to jail. Literally, if the cop saw me, they were doing some sting operation, they were undercover, and they saw me walk out with a 40-ounce to give to these minors, they would swoop in, put me in handcuffs, throw me in the back of the car, and you see the headline, prominent conservative radio hosts caught buying beer for minors. I get fired from my job. I go to jail. I spend days in jail before I saw a judge, and I may get time. You mean to tell me that you think it's an assault on transgender rights for Tennessee and other states to say, do what you want to do after 19 years old? Do what you want to do after 19 years old. I think this is the most obvious decision ever, and I'm baffled, absolutely baffled by the fact that it wasn't 9-0. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. When we come back, I want to talk about the unfortunate story of the pregnant woman that was kept on life support, who they took her off life support yesterday. We're going to talk about that story. Her name is Adriana Smith. We'll be right back. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum.
Two big trouble spots on 285. A travel advisory out of Sandy Springs on 285 westbound. A crash where only one right lane is open just past New North Side Drive. Delays already beginning back at Roswell Road. So you'll want to take 85 south to 75 north there through Brookwood, or 400 south to 85 south. Rejoin 75 north up into Cobb County. And trouble spot number 2, a travel advisory on the southeast perimeter. Overturned truck carrying dirt. It tipped over, right lane blocked on 285 west at Flat Shoals. You are on the brakes coming down from Covington Highway. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Every year for the 4th of July, my family invites over friends, and I get a big box of burgers and franks from Omaha Steaks, and we grill out. It's going to be the same this year. Right now, for the 4th of July sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at Omaha Steaks. Just like me, I don't get a special. I take the discount as well, and you can use the promo code ERIC at checkout and get an extra $45 off. So it's already 50% off site-wide, and then you put in ERIC as your promo code, and you get $45 extra off, minimum order required. You get unparalleled quality from Omaha Steaks. It's deliciousness. Get the burgers, get the gourmet jumbo franks. You can get the sides, everything you need. You can even get steaks. We do this every year. It's become a family tradition. Start your own family tradition with Omaha Steaks. Again, 50% off site-wide right now. And if you go to omahasteaks.com with the 50% off site-wide, you get an extra $45 off if you use ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. omahasteaks.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, Atlanta's engagement ring and wedding band destination since 1939. Why? Hand-picked diamonds that just shine brighter at a value that can't be beat. An unbelievable selection of engagement rings and wedding bands. And because we've been jewelers for generations, we can bring your dream ring to life with full custom abilities. So when it's time for the next chapter, come see Atlanta's most trusted jeweler since 1939, D. Geller & Son, in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Save at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off no antibiotics ever, 80% lean ground beef with Prime through June 24th. Grill this protein as juicy burgers or tender kebabs. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
How
How easy is it to save energy and money in seconds? Power down unused devices, swap out traditional bulbs for LEDs, and adjust your thermostat for the season. Get more tips at georgiapower.com/energy efficiency today. Ready, set, save.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a phone on us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. I appreciate you being here. I want to take this. So I want to talk about the Adriana Smith case. That's the young lady who was on life support while she was pregnant. But I wanted to talk about it in this segment, but it's a little shorter segment. So I'm going to move it to after 11. I'll talk about it because I need a little bit more time because we need to kind of dive deep into the story. So let me take a call from Dave in Stone Mountain. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Shelly, how's it going?
I'm wonderful, Dave. How are you?
Good. New York City boy, just like you, and also went to private school in Riverdale, so we probably went to the same school, the Mediator. But anyway.
Where'd you go to school in Riverdale?
A private school called Mediator Day School.
Oh, Mediator. Okay, I went to Riverdale Country Day.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and then before
Cool.
that I went to St. Bernard's downtown. But go ahead, what's your comment? They're
Nice.
going to get mad at me for having this conversation.
So
Go ahead,
just-
David.
I know, right? Well, just going back on the breaking news, you know, it's ridiculous how the Democratic Party is so far left that they're siding with this situation where they want transgender minor kids to get this type of treatment when they shouldn't even be thinking about sexuality at that
Absolutely.
age.
Absolutely. I didn't mention that part. That's a great point. It's a great point.
Yeah, yeah, and also that's what swayed me. That ad with the Republican Party that had brothers talking about Kamala's for they them and I'm for us. That's what got me because
Really?
guess what? If they are so far left, if they don't move to the center, and regardless, most people who are either Republican or Democratic, they're in the center.
Right.
And they're never gonna come back and get the majority vote if they don't move to the center where middle America is.
Wow. Great
You know what
call,
I mean?
David. Great call. Have a great week, and a great week of work and a wonderful weekend. God bless. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you.
Also, you too, buddy. Take
Yes,
care.
sir.
Bye-bye.
Went to private school in New York. Good guy. Anybody who went to private school in New York is a good person.
Why just in New York?
I don't know.
Okay.
I said, yeah. No. Okay. Anybody that went to private school is good people. So coming up next, let me set up the story. Don't go anywhere because you want to hear this. One of the more fascinating stories I've ever kind of investigated and looked into, looked around at all the facts of. It's one of the more fascinating questions, and it's the Adriana Smith question. This is the young lady who had brain clots, and she went to the hospital. They did initial, look at her. She went home. She kept having the headaches. She went back. She worked at the hospital that she went to. She was a nurse, but she had brain clots, and it got worse and worse and worse. And finally, she went into a coma. And she literally died, and they kept her on life support because she was pregnant. And this raised a whole bunch of questions. The Democrats talked about, the 6 week fetus bill. That's why they're doing it, and we need to change the law. This bill is a bad law. It became a pro-abortion bill. Situation. The family said, the doctor said we couldn't do anything because of the bill. Chris Carr came out as Attorney General, said, no, she doesn't have to be kept on life support because of the bill. Everyone had chimed in on it. But what people didn't chime in on were the ethics, the morality of the entire story. That's what I'm going to do next on the Shelley Winter Show. We'll be right back. Sorry. On the Mark Aram Show, I'm Shelley Winter filling in. That came out of habit, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Sleep apnea could be silently wrecking your health. Untreated, it spikes your risk of heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. Are you snoring loudly? Waking up exhausted? Your body's sounding the alarm. Don't ignore it. Are you frustrated with a CPAP? Those bulky masks and noisy tubes aren't for everyone. Palmetto Sleep has a better answer. Custom oral appliances. Quiet, comfortable, and perfect for mild to moderate sleep apnea. Sleep better, feel better. No sleep lab needed. Get an at-home sleep test in your own bed, often covered by Medicare or your company plans. Save your health. Call Palmetto Sleep now at 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. That's 770-230-0222. Palmetto Sleep, your health deserves better. Call 770-230-0222. That's the phone number. Get a good night's sleep now. Call Palmetto Sleep.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.
You know the best part about hot weather is walking into a cool, comfortable house, right? Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling. Summer is here. Don't let HVAC problems ruin your fun. Coolray is offering up to $2,250 in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete home carrier system. Ready to stay cool this summer? Visit Coolray.com to book your appointment today and keep your home cool and comfortable all summer long. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top story, updating Israel at war. President Trump says this morning that Iran has reached out to him as the country continues to trade attacks with Israel. But the president says he believes it's too little, too late.
I said it's very late. You know? I said it's very late to be talking.
When asked whether he has made a decision on whether or not to use military force in the Middle East, he refused to answer, saying, quote, "Nobody knows what I'm going to do," end quote. It comes after Iran's supreme leader this morning rejected U.S. calls for a surrender, also saying any U.S. military intervention would lead to irreparable damage for America. Tune in often for the latest in the conflict between Israel and Iran. We'll have coverage at the top and bottom of every hour and when it breaks. Right now, it is 78 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. Clouds around today, and it's hot. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Well, happening later today, the Federal Reserve will make a decision on whether or not to cut interest rates. Most analysts expect the Fed won't take action and will hold rates steady.
Remember, last year they cut rates by a full percentage point. They haven't made a move since last December. That means short-term interest rates, the Fed funds rates, remain at 4.25% to 4.5%.
Jill Schlesinger reports holding the rate makes things more difficult for borrowers, but benefits those trying to save. That decision will be announced after 2 o'clock. The Supreme Court upholds a Tennessee law that prohibits minors from using hormones and puberty blockers for gender transition. The court's 3 liberal justices dissented.
They're rejecting claims that there's any kind of equal protection argument, and they're also rejecting or deciding not to decide for now, and this would have been a major expansion. They're not going to decide how they're going to look at transgender people generally under the Constitution.
Jan Crawford reports it's a big setback for supporters of transgender rights. 26 other states, aside from Tennessee, have similar bans. A man is dead in an overnight shooting in Norcross. Gwinnett County Police Corporal Ryan Winderweedle says it happened on Dawson Boulevard. That's just off I-85 and Jimmy Carter Boulevard. The victims identified as 29-year-old Andre Jones.
While detectives were canvassing, they were
able to locate a second victim of the shooting. She had a injury to her leg.
He describes her as a bystander. She's recovering. The agency says they're still working on figuring out an exact motive. No word yet on any suspects or arrests. They are asking any witnesses or those with info to contact the agency. A dangerous intersection gets a major makeover in the city of South Fulton.
Officials cut the ribbon on a new roundabout at the intersection of Butner and Union Roads. South Fulton City Council member Helen Willis says the $4.4 million project is essential for safety in the area.
We've had several fatalities, even a fatality during the construction process.
City officials say it includes new curbs, drainage, and wider sidewalks. The project's paid for by a special local option sales tax for transportation. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Hundreds of thousands of Ford EVs are being recalled because of a software issue that can cause the doors to all lock. The Mustang Mach-E's sometimes lock all of their doors when the 12-volt battery's low.
Ford's working on a software update for the more than 300,000 21 through 25 model year Mach-E's that are part of this global recall.
Jeff Gilbert reports those inside can get out, but a child or a disabled person may not be able to use the door release handle. It is 10:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes, but first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Austin, things are getting worse out of Sandy Springs now. A gridlock alert on 285 westbound with a crash that's working just past New North Side. Only the right lane has been open, and you're heavy on the brakes at Georgia 400. You can take 85 south to 75 north up through the Brookwood split to avoid that north side perimeter. Again, 285 westbound. And now on the Jam Cam southeast side, all lanes shut down. A red alert. 285 westbound at Flat Shoals to clean up dirt that was spilled in the roadway. Traffic diverted onto Flat Shoals. You can certainly use I-20 west to Flat Shoals to avoid the stretch of 285. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy today, hot and humid with a high near 90. Just a slim chance of an isolated pop-up storm. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, high 89. Drying out on Friday, partly cloudy, high 91.
Right now it's 78 degrees in Stockbridge, also 78 in Alpharetta, and 77 degrees in Midtown. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
I want this town to be near you.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum, ladies and gentlemen. I normally air 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Tonight, Alan Sanders will be filling in for me, so keep it locked here all day long for the great content, the great news that we deliver every single day on this great station, 95.5 WSB. And you can follow us and watch the live stream at WSBradio.com. Also follow us on @WSB Radio, ladies and gentlemen. So this Adriana case, let me reset this for you. Adriana Smith, excuse me. She had blood clots in her brain, and they got increasingly worse. She had headaches, and she eventually passed. But she was pregnant, so they kept her on life support. And the pro-abortion movement, the Democrats, largely in the state of Georgia, used this case to push back against the fetal heartbeat bill. And it became very politicized. But no one talked about the ethics of this case. So let me go back. Let me rewind a little bit. Bob Marley, Robert Nesta Marley, better known as Bob Marley. That Bob Marley. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? 3 little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of a memory pure and singing, this is my message to you. That Bob Marley. Bob Marley used to play soccer all the time, loved playing soccer. He's a Rastafarian, a true believer, right? He's just Jehovah's Witness, Christian, Jewish. Rastafarianism is a religion, right? It's a real religion. And they are believers in this religion. And Bob Marley was a Rastafarian. And part of Rastafarian belief is that they don't believe in blood transfusions because they feel it can contaminate the body. They also don't believe in cutting off body parts because it's natural, right? It's Leviticus. In Leviticus, the Bible, Rastafarians follow the Bible, right? And Leviticus says don't cut off your hair or your beards, right? And so they follow this, but they also extend that to the body. And so when Bob Marley was playing soccer in Europe, I believe while they were recording the great Exodus album, probably one of the greatest reggae albums of all time, I believe it was Exodus. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but I believe it was the Exodus album. They were playing soccer, and he got kicked in the foot, big toe to be specific. And when he got kicked in the foot and in the big toe, it never really healed. And it was going to doctors trying to figure out why it just got kicked. What's the problem? Why won't it heal? And when they did tests, they found out he had cancer in his big toe. Cancer in his big toe. And Bob Marley, right then and there, he's in Europe. They could have cut off his big toe and he would have kept it moving, and we could have had Bob Marley in our world right now still making music. But because of his fundamental religious belief and his faith, they didn't believe in that. Organ transplants and cutting off body parts, things like that. The doctors begged him. His bandmates begged him. Producers begged him. But he wouldn't do it because of his belief. Jah will take care of me. Well, he passed away, as you know. Adriana Smith, we don't know what she wanted to have happen. There is no document. I cannot find any documentation that she said, I want to be kept on life support for my baby to be delivered. This was all a decision. We don't know if it was made by family. We're told it was made by the doctors because of the fetal heartbeat bill. But what are the ethics around this? No one asked her, right? And it wasn't an abortion, because an abortion is when a woman makes a decision, actively makes the decision to go and have an abortion, to get rid of the body in her body for various reasons. And it's a tough decision that women go through. It's not something that they make willy-nilly. 99% of women don't just, wake up and say, I'm going to. No, they suffer through this decision. It takes time. They consult their family members. They consult themselves. They go to the Lord. They go to their knees. They pray about it. Most women, it's a heart-wrenching decision that they make, one way or the other. And so this woman couldn't make that decision. But even if they would have not put her on life support, it wouldn't have been an abortion. Because an abortion is an active decision made by a woman to delete their pregnancy. This woman was kept alive because there was a fetus in her body. And no one had plans for what would happen. Her family didn't discuss it. When she was sick, no one said, as far as I can see, now they could have, but as far as I can see, no one talked to her or her family to say, who's the next, when she's in a coma, who makes the decision? Who makes the medical decisions for this woman? And so the story spun out of control. It became politicized, and that's the most disgusting part of this story. Because Democrats in the state of Georgia seized upon this woman's tragic and this family's tragic story to make political points. And that's the most disgusting part of this. Chris Carr, the Attorney General of Georgia, when the story became public, he said very clearly, no, she does not have to be kept on life support. That has nothing to do with this law. The Attorney General of Georgia said that. At that point, the story is dead. The politics of the story is dead when the Attorney General said what he said. But they kept it alive. They kept it alive. Well, they finally took her off life support. The baby was delivered through C-section. Here's the ethical part about it, beyond what I just talked about. Here's the ethical part about it. Forget the fact that no one talked to her. Forget the fact that no family member stood up for or against it. They all just rallied around the political talking point, which is really disgusting. But here's the ethical part. Well, before I get to that part, let me talk about one more part, the family part. My mom passed away 2 years ago. My mom, beautiful woman, brilliant woman, smartest woman I've ever known, and the most beautiful. My mom, if I were a girl, right, I already have a girl's name, Shelly, but if I were a girl that had gotten pregnant and went into a coma and was on life support, my mom would have kept me on life support for the full 9 months to bring that baby to term, because she was not going to let her grandchild die as well. And I'm shocked that the family fought so hard for or against and let themselves get dragged into a political fight. Because most families will say, hey, we're not going to have two tragedies. Our daughter's dead, but we're not going to have the grandchild die. We'll raise a grandchild as a family. Grandchild will spend some time with the grandmother, some time with auntie, some time with cousin Jack in Idaho, whatever the case may be. But this family, my family, would have said, hey, that baby's going to be born. You're going to carry him to term to 9 months. We don't care how much it costs to keep our daughter on life support for a full 9 months and bring that baby to term and have it delivered through C-section. That's a family discussion that nobody's having. But here's the ethical discussion that nobody's having as well. Has anybody listening to me right now, particularly in the medical community, particularly you researchers, particularly those of you who like data, I hear that word a lot. What's the data say? All of you out there, very smart people because you listen to 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. I want you to ask yourself and Google, what are the results of carrying a baby in any kind of term, 30 weeks, 20 weeks, whatever it is, in a body on life support? It's never been done. The doctors in this case literally were experimenting on this woman. Now, they may not admit it, but this is what happened. The baby right now is fighting for its survival. As of 11/13, I've heard no news that the baby has survived or will continue to survive. But I know the reporting from yesterday, he's in a neonatal intensive care unit and is fighting for survival. He's born, and you heard it in the news report, born at 1 pound, some ounces. Premature. But where are the studies that show us what happens, how a fetus develops in a body being held on life support? I'm not a doctor, but I can only imagine it's probably not going to be a good turnout because the body is not naturally functioning to carry a baby to term. And when Chris Carr made his statement, that family with the doctors all should have said, oh, wow, it's not against the law? We thought it was. Okay, take her off life support. The doctors should at least advise the family to do that because the doctors don't know what the fetus is going to happen to the fetus, even if they took it to the full term, because it's never been done before. This is an experiment by Emory Hospital. It can only be described as an experiment to see if a baby can be carried to term and delivered healthy through C-section on a patient who's on life support. Because there's no studies. It's never been done before. The only other time it's been done is in Germany, and they don't have any results. This is all documented. I'm not making this up. This family was not only used politically by Democrats and the pro-abortion movement. This family was used by the medical establishment. This family has been taken through hell, and all the while their daughter was on life support and dead. All for an experiment, all for politics. That's the part that should enrage you all. No matter what side you come down on, pro, anti, pro-life, anti-abort, whatever the case may be, doesn't matter. What you really, really, really should be considering is, how will this baby turn out health-wise? Will it be normal? Will everything be the same as if the mom was alive? Because the body on life support is not doing all the same things that it's supposed to do as the woman's body that it's supposed to do, to feed and vitamins and all the things and pump blood the way it's supposed to for a fetus. And nobody knows the outcome because it's never been done before. Yet they did it. And they did it to see what would happen while using politics to defend themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a disgusting story. This family, this beautiful woman, Adriana Smith, in her 30s, was used by politicians, was used by pundits, was used by the medical establishment, as well as her family. And now her fetus, named Chance, is fighting for survival. In all of this, I would beg you, if you're listening to me now, I would beg you to pray for Little Chance. Don't pray for the abortionists or the pro-lifers or anything like that. Pray for Chance, the baby who was just born or who was just delivered through C-section. Pray for his survival. Let's pray for him. His name is Chance. If you're really about that life, let's pray for Little Chance, because everybody else has used Chance's mom, Chance's family, and dare I say even Chance to make either political or to test some medical experiment. Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Aram. We'll be right back. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK.
A traffic red alert on the southeast perimeter. The inner loop is shut down 285 west at Flat Shoals below I-20. A truck carrying dirt tumped over. Right lane was blocked. Traffic was driving through the dirt. Now they've shut down all lanes to do that cleanup, so traffic diverted off onto Flat Shoals. Delays begin back around Covington Highway. Take I-20 west to Flat Shoals to avoid that. And better news rolling out of Sandy Springs. You are in slow traffic, but it'll get better. That crash 285 west past New North Side. Powers Ferry has been cleared to the shoulder. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
Massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The latest incident comes when a SWAT team is called after a suspect.
Your 24/7 news
They
source.
had no ties to a gang.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Only inches separate you from the heavy rain trying to infiltrate your home. Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. If your old roof is leaking, think of Findlay first. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof replacement experience. Water inside? Worried about recent heavy rains causing damage? You'll always win with Findlay. Schedule a free roof analysis. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
At Ameris Bank, we know that it's never just business when it's your business. I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Whether your business is looking to optimize cash flow, improve your payment technology, or grow more quickly, my team and I are here and ready to help with a superior level of service, smart banking technology, and local market expertise. I invite you to reach out to my team by visiting amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
That's you looking at your garage door. And you're wondering, if it gets windy, just how much can this door take? 20 miles an hour? 30 miles an hour? Sure, if we get a little wind, your buddy says if you back the car up against it just right, you can probably save it. But what's your clever plan the next time we get a storm with a name? At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Storm-rated doors are built to withstand heavy winds, even if your building codes aren't there yet. It's like the door to the safe that protects your whole house. Stronger materials, heavy-duty motors and springs to handle the weight, and reinforced struts to keep it from bowing out in the wind. How do I know it won't bow? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're prepared the next time a storm with a name comes sailing across the Gulf of Mo.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Belinda. I've been living in my house for 20 years, and let me tell you, it's been bug-free thanks to Arrow Exterminators. Summer's here, and so are the usual suspects: mosquitoes, ants, roaches, and spiders. But with Arrow Exterminators on my side, I don't even have to think about it. And guess what? June is Home Ownership Month, the perfect time to protect your biggest investment. Arrow's been family-owned for over 61 years, bringing experience, reliability, and the most effective and environmentally friendly solutions right to your doorstep. And they back it all with a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Don't let bugs ruin your summer fun. Take back your yard for barbecues, pool parties, and evenings under the stars. Call Arrow Exterminators today for your free home or business pest inspection at 888-GO-ARROW. Or visit arrowexterminators.com and tell them Belinda sent you.
All right, let's go. Short segment. Let's go to Patricia in Loganville. Go ahead, Patricia. Oh, by the way, hold on, Patricia. Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Arum. Go ahead, Patricia.
Yes, good morning, Mark. I just wanted to comment about the conversation you just had.
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, as I was watching the mother on TV of the woman whose life is going to be terminated today, I was holding my grandson, who was born the same age, 25 weeks and 5 days, at 1 pound 15 ounces. And I thought, as I looked at this child all day long, I thought, how could you not want to give this child a chance?
Right.
They did nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong. Why would you want to terminate it? And the mother talked a lot about women's rights. Women's rights. Did the mother of the baby ever say to her mother, listen, if I die while carrying this child, I want the child terminated as well. I don't want the child to be born. I want the child terminated. Or did she say, I want the child to have a chance at life? Right. I want him to have a chance that I'm not going to have.
Right.
I just don't know. I just don't get it.
Right. We don't know that conversation. And the fact that you keep turning to women's rights and the politics of it tells me that you're being used. Because I would think any family losing their daughter, who have lost their daughter's passed away, the daughter's dead, she's on life support. I would think any family would want they would do everything in their power to have that child born, because it's two tragedies. I'm losing my daughter, I'm losing my grandchild. So it boggles my mind. This whole case boggles my mind. Great call, Patricia. Have a wonderful day, and God bless your little grandchild.
Thank you so much, Mark. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. She called me Mark? That's so cool. She called me Mark. That's awesome. No, that means that I'm doing a good job, because she's listening thinking it's Mark, because Mark does a great job. And so I'm filling in. She called me Mark. That means she's saying, oh, this guy's good, like Mark. He's Mark. Oh, I feel so good. That's the best compliment I can be paid. Hear that, management? 448-720-750. 1-800-WSB Talk. Oh, man, when we come back, AI is going to be taking jobs. But more specifically, AI is going to be taking corporate jobs. No one wants to have that conversation. It's easy to say, oh, cashiers and waitresses are going to lose their jobs due to technology. But corporate jobs, we got to talk about that. 448-720-750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Shelley Winter in for the great Mark Arum. We will be right back.
Hi, it's Wes Moss. May's mayhem is behind us, and June is in full bloom. Spring brings milestones like graduations, weddings, and even new homes. It's also a time when you might be thinking about retirement. If that's you, visit our team at Capital Investment Advisors. We'll work with you to craft an income-focused portfolio designed to deliver a reliable paycheck in retirement. Get started at yourwealth.com. That's Y-O-U-R wealth.com.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Aaron back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
Don't ignore cracking bricks and concrete or boat walls. You could be ignoring foundation problems. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions knows these signs could lead to a reduction in your home's value. Visit aquaguard.net today to book your free inspection. Remember,
AquaGuard. Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Our top story, updating Israel at war. Iran's supreme leader says his country won't back down as President Trump calls for an unconditional surrender.
This is Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, telling the Iranian people Iran will never surrender to any outside force and warning President Trump of, quote, irreparable harm if the U.S. joins Israel's strikes.
Vicky Barker reports Trump says in response, quote, good luck, end quote. He says Iran has reached out to him, but he believes it's too late for discussions. Tune in often for the latest in the conflict between Israel and Iran. We'll have coverage at the top and bottom of every hour and when it breaks. His attorney calls it a shakedown. Tyler Perry denies claims in a sexual assault lawsuit seeking hundreds of millions of dollars.
Actor Derek Dixon says the movie mogul first noticed him when he worked with an event staff at one of his parties. Dixon wound up acting on Perry's TV drama The Oval. The $260 million lawsuit claims Perry harassed Dixon with dirty text messages and then assaulted him several times, including at his home in Atlanta. Dixon says Perry threatened his job security if he didn't keep up their relationship. Perry denies all accusations. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Well, the U.S. Supreme Court has upheld a Tennessee law banning gender-affirming health care for minors in a 6-3 ruling. 26 other states have similar laws.
What it means is those other states' policies are good law, absent the process of going through another challenge all the way from the district court process up to the Supreme Court and getting this Supreme Court to reverse itself. And with a 6-3 margin, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Hofstra law professor James Sample says the law in Tennessee says children and their parents are not qualified to make these decisions, as changes can be irreversible. A new analysis of FDA data shows Georgia among the states with the most contaminated retail meat.
Trace One analyzed retail meat contamination using data from the FDA. They looked at 4 types of meat: chicken, ground turkey, ground beef, and pork chops. And they tested for 4 bacterial pathogens, including E. coli and Salmonella. They found that Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee had the most contaminated meat products in stores. Chicken the most contaminated at more than 29% testing positive. Overall, approximately 36% of retail meat samples testing positive for bacteria. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
A deal to merge U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel has been finalized today. Under the agreement, U.S. Steel will keep its headquarters in Pittsburgh, and more than 100,000 jobs are expected to be created across the country. That agreement says Nippon Steel will invest $11 billion in new investments in U.S. Steel by 2028. That deal also ensures the majority of U.S. Steel's board of directors, including its CEO, will be American citizens. Well, it's rained nearly every day for 2 weeks straight in metro Atlanta. When you combine the rainfall totals for May and the first 17 days of June, we are on track for the top 10 wettest on record. It is 11:33. Live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Thanks, Austin. Still watching a traffic red alert on the southeast perimeter. All lanes shut down. 285 westbound at Flat Shoals below I-20. A truck carrying some dirt tipped over, and they're cleaning that up, so traffic diverted off there onto Flat Shoals. You can avoid those delays that begin up at Covington Highway by getting on I-20 west to Flat Shoals. Lanes now open out of Sandy Springs into Cobb County. Traffic improving. 285 west past an earlier crash, new north side. And live on the Jam Cam, a truck crash in Midtown on the connector. 75-85 north in the center lane at 10th Street. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid with a high near 90s. Staying dry for the majority of the area. Just a slim chance of an isolated pop-up storm. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms rolling through. High 89. Drying out on Friday. High 91.
Right now it's 80 degrees in Buford, 79 in Union City, and 79 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. More news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Thursday starting at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, you can still get 4% returns on your investment. Clark Howard knows how. He'll tell us on WSB.
AI is going to take these jobs, corporate jobs. That's what's being said by the CEO of Amazon. We're going to talk about that next. Also, we're going to replay Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz. Shelley Winter in for Mark Aaron. We will be right back.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Now you can save time and make the most money and eliminate all hassles this summer. Hey, Sean Hannity, Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we make mattress shopping easy. We offer our lowest and best price to everyone, every day, so you can shop when you're ready. We show you exactly what's inside of our mattresses so you can see and feel the quality for yourself to ensure you're getting the best value. And we offer a no-pressure shopping experience. Our team is here to help you find the best mattress for you. It's that easy. Visit an OMF location today to see the Original Mattress Factory difference for yourself.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2.
Oxycan, Kangaroo. Love that song. What a great movie. If you've never seen Glory, go see it. I'm Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Arum. We're going to play that Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz clip because the executive director said to play it again. So, of course, I'm going to do that. So, oh, man, I love – let me tell you something, man. You cannot find a better workplace than WSB Radio. The whole company, CMG, Cox Media Group, the whole company, everybody. But really, this team – at 95.5 WSB, I tell you, if you ever get a chance to fill out an application, you see a job opening, whether you're in radio or not, you need to do it because this is the most fun place to work. It really is. I'm so blessed. I really am. And thank you for listening, and thank you, Mark Arum, for allowing me to fill in. So I'm Shelley Winter. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tonight, Alan Sanders will be filling in for me tonight, tomorrow, and Friday, as I will be filling in for Mark Arum 9 to noon for the next 3 days, or for the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday. So Amazon CEO, his name is Andy Jassy. Interestingly enough, I do talk radio. I did not know Jeff Bezos wasn't the CEO, and he hasn't been the CEO since 2021. And I had no clue. And I don't know, maybe I did, but Jeff Bezos is always in the news, that I just assumed he was still running the company. But he hasn't been a CEO since 2021. So the new guy, Andy Jassy, not quite new, has been there since 2021 as the CEO. He said his quote is generative AI. Now, generative AI is kind of it works as it's working, if that makes sense. Like it's artificial intelligence, but say for instance you have a company and you have customer service employees. Well, there's generative AI which does the customer service work. So a person will call in, they're not talking to a human being, they're talking to AI. And it can generate answers based on what you are asking. Almost like, when you ever go on to a corporate website and it says, would you like to talk to a live person or chat? Well, a chat you think is always someone, a real human being. But in many cases, many corporations now, the chat function on the corporate websites is AI, which is why sometimes you'll notice you'll ask a question and they'll come back and say, are you really trying to get, is this what your question is? I'll get right on it. And then you see the little circle spinning. That's AI, generative AI. So the Amazon boss, Andy Jassy, he says Amazon will need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today and more people doing other types of jobs. And he goes on to say it's hard to know exactly where this nets out over time, but in the next few years, here's the headline. We expect that this will reduce our total corporate workforce as we get efficiency gains from using AI extensively across the across the company. So they're not going to get robots tomorrow to pack and ship and prepare to ship your goods. But I just recently bought something from Amazon. It shipped to my house. Someone somewhere put it in a bag, taped it down, put priority or whatever it was on a sticker, and put it in a bin and on a track there, or the little roller things, and it went to someone else who dropped it in another bin where it was supposed to end up where I live in Cobb County. And those were people who did that. You're probably not going to get away from that anytime soon because of the sheer volume of what Amazon ships. But in the corporate area, in the offices, you don't really need a lot of those people. That's what he's saying. It's hard to know exactly where this nets out over time, but in the next few years, we expect that this will reduce our total corporate workforce as we get efficiency gains from using AI extensively across the company. Amazon has a corporate workforce of approximately 350,000 employees as of December. This could impact 350,000 jobs. Now, they're all not going to go away, obviously, but a lot of them are. The CEO, Jassy, says Amazon already has more than 1,000 generative AI services or applications in the works, which will, quote, small fraction of what we will ultimately build. It's kind of scary. AI scares me. I've got to be honest with many of you. A friend of mine he's my lodge brother, actually. Shout out to W.C. Thomas Lodge 112, and shout out to all the travelers out there, all the Masonic Freemasons out there. He's a friend of mine. He's my lodge brother. He sent out on our little group text for our lodge a photograph. Like, it's like him. He says, hey, check out my new official photo, right? Because he's in a big job and he needed a photo. When people ask all the time, hey, do you have a photo? We're asking you to speak at some event. Do you have a new photo? Do you have a photo you can send us? So he got a new photo. And so everyone, he didn't say anything at first. He just sent it out to us. Hey, what do you guys think? It was a spectacular photo. I mean, this dude is not the best looking dude. He looked really handsome in the photo. Like, he's not the best looking dude, right? That was a joke. But in the photo, he looks great. And so everyone on our text thread asked the same question pretty much all at once. Hey, who is your photographer? Or my daughter's graduating high school. We're looking for a photographer. Can you give me the contact number? That was basically all the responses. The dude came back to us and told us it was an AI photograph. He submitted pictures and AI developed a photograph of him. And it looks like a photograph. And I'm thinking to myself, when he sent that out, not only was it a great photo of him, not only was it a great thing, great to be used, but I realized that some photographer someplace just lost a gig. Somebody, he was going to call somebody before AI. He would have called someone to say, hey, I need new photos. They might have said $300 for 2 hours. Wear a couple outfits. We'll pick the best one. But because of AI, some photographer lost an opportunity to make money. And this is going to happen more and more and more and more. I pray that it doesn't happen to talk radio. Because I don't know what else I could do. I'm not good at anything else. Some will say I'm not even good at this. Longoria shakes his head in an affirmative. You didn't have to do that, brother. I was talking to Vinny, not you. You didn't have to do that. Oh, man. Okay. Yep, doing it right now. I've got a pair of tickets. This is a good show. This is going to be a good show. Bryan Adams is going to be at Gas South Arena November 6th. All right, Bryan Adams, the great Bryan Adams, is going to be at Gas South Arena November 6th. I've got one pair of tickets to give away. So I'm going to give away those tickets to the 10th caller. Since Vinny wants to sit back there and make jokes, I'm going to make Vinny count. I'm going to give them out to the 10th caller, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. 10th caller receives a pair of tickets to see Bryan Adams at Gas South Arena. All right? Start the calls coming in now. And while that's going on, I talked about Adriana Smith. She's the young lady who was on life support while she was pregnant. There's a lot of political stories, a lot of stories written about her. Well, they're taking her off of life support. They've delivered the baby through C-section. They've either taken her off or she's coming, or they took her off last night, or they're doing it today. But she's passed on, right? We could say that. And I talked about it earlier, so I want to go to Kelly in Canton because she has an interesting point to make. Go ahead, Kelly. Kelly?
Hey there.
Hey.
So the question that I have is regarding, so I had to go back and do a little research about what happened to her to begin with. And from what I understand, it was her boyfriend that discovered her not breathing properly, and which made me to assume that maybe he was the father of this baby.
Mm-hmm.
So then my question is, where is he in all of this? What about his rights as a father?
Mm-hmm.
And also, just curious, who named the baby?
Good question. All good questions. All good questions. And you bring up a really great point, and I've got to go. But great call, Kelly. But you bring up some great points. First point is something I never thought of. We have not heard or seen from the father. I've never seen or heard from the father in any of the news reports. Politicians who have been talking about this story have not talked about the father. Kelly brings that up. But one other point that Kelly brings up also is, when she was put on life support, we should have only heard from the father. Shelley Winter in for Mark Aaron. When we come back, we're going to play Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, minute 26 of just straight fire. We'll be right back.
Still watching Red Alert on the southeast perimeter. 285 West shut down for truck crash cleanup at Flat Shoals. Traffic diverted off there. The delays begin back before Covington Highway. Take I-20 west to Flat Shoals to avoid that. And a truck crash on the downtown connector 7585 northbound at 10th Street. It's been hanging out in a few center lanes. Fire department on scene. They're trying to clear that to the shoulder right now. Traffic brought to you by your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy. Kroger Pharmacy welcomes Express Scripts, Medicare D, and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. You can transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/payer-update. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
I've listened to many arguments, and there are good arguments to say that we shouldn't. I'm just saying.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
This is the only way to do it. Some people are going to lose their job, and then they're going to be put back in the job.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
It's about you. You're being celebrated.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I know if I checked the internet browser history of a lot of you guys listening right now, I would come across advancedhair.com. That's because I've been telling you for months now to check out the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com. You've seen the results if you've gone to the website. I've seen the results at the website. Life-changing hair restoration from Advanced Hair. Do yourselves a favor. If you haven't been yet, go to advancedhair.com and check out the before and after pictures. You'll see what they can do with your hair situation, whether it's a receding hairline, bald spots. Advanced Hair got you covered. It's a quick, simple one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day, guaranteed to grow for life. Guys, if you want your hair back, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first you need a free consultation. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair, guaranteed to grow.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 62225, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
These days, the Atlanta real estate market is just like Atlanta weather, unpredictable. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. If there was ever a time to work with a true real estate expert, now is that time. In all my years in residential real estate, this is the most change and volatility I've seen. A misstep could cost thousands. This is when experience matters. My team and I are passionate about providing clarity to our clients through our expertise in real estate. So, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, we can give you that clarity so you can make great choices and the best decisions. And yes, I host Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB, but you don't have to wait until Saturday for help. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and ask me anything. My team and I are here for you. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com for clarity in buying or selling your home.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show for Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Looking for a new truck and looking for a great deal? Of course you are. Well, I have a great deal on the Tundra for you, and the only place you're going to find it, the only place you're going to hear about it is right here. Go to beavertoyotacumming.com/Dave's Deals and save money on your new Toyota Tundra. It's that easy. beavertoyotacumming.com/Dave's Deals. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming is the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a phone on us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/fax. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Ross from Villa Rica, who won the tickets to see Bryan Adams at the Gas South Arena on November 6th. My name is Shelley Winter, filling in for Mark Aram. I appreciate every single one of you for being with me for the last 3 days. And don't forget, it's 7 p.m. I normally air 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Alan Sanders will be filling in for me. So keep it locked here all day long and check out Alan at 7 o'clock. And I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. And I pray to God that you guys enjoyed what I delivered today. So I want to knock off 3 or 4 quick stories. But I do want to play this clip. This is Tucker Carlson. So Tucker Carlson interviewed Ted Cruz. Probably a long interview. It's going to be on Tucker Carlson's X. It's supposed to drop tomorrow. And if ever there was a clip to drop, to play, to tease an interview, this is it. Listen to just how Tucker Carlson manhandles Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz.
How many people live in Iran, by the way? I don't know the population. At all? No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple? How many people live in Iran? 92 million. Okay. Yeah. How could you not know that? I don't sit around memorizing population tables. Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government. Why is it relevant whether it's, because it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant? Because if you don't know anything about the country... I didn't say I don't know anything about the country. What's the ethnic mix of Iran? They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, it's not even. You don't know anything about Iran, so actually I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran. You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who claims anything about the country. No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the I'm one not saying that. Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad. They're trying to murder Trump. Yes, I do. Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that... We're carrying out military strikes today. You said Israel was. Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them. Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity. No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them. You just said we were. We are supporting Israel. High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Hey, people are listening. You just said we. Oh, man. I cannot wait to watch that interview. Really quickly, I'm going to go, give me 2 seconds. I want to go to Fact of the Day with Longoria. I love Robert F. Kennedy. If you've never listened to my show, know this about me. I voted for Trump 3 times, and I love the selection of Robert F. Kennedy for HHS secretary. And here's the reason why. He stated that he wants to phase out the use of so-called FD&C artificial dyes, red dye 40, yellow dye 5, yellow dye 6. It goes on and on. Well, guess what major company said that they vowed yesterday to scrap synthetic dyes from its U.S. products for brands that include Jell-O, Kool-Aid, Crystal Light Beverages, Jet Puffs Marshmallows, and their ketchup brands. That's why I love RFK. So the people that told you he's for abortion, this is more important to me. Getting healthier foods. Good for RFK, good for Heinz. Red Lobster is back. They have a new CEO, and they brought back a new menu. We're going to try a Damola Adamolicon. He said that they're changing the menu. They're redoing some of the stores, and their sales are up. Do we have time? No time for Fact of the Day because I talk too much. I apologize, Longoria. Welcome back, by the way, my brother. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Shelley Winter, I'll be back tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Eric Erickson's up next. Again, Von Hessler Doctrine after that, and Alan Sanders from 7 to 9. What a day of news and talk. Coming up is the news. And like I say at the end of every single show, please hear me. Please hear me. Know this in your hearts. God loves you. Peace.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB.